We have Terry from Estate 88. How you doing, man? What's been happening?
I am excellent, thank you, gents. What's been happening? I'm just glad to spend the day or the afternoon with you guys, and glad to be a part of the Cheatcoders.
Yeah, man. It's, what a great way to spend International Women's Day
with the boys.
With the boys. Yeah, the boys.
All right, so can you introduce yourself to people who don't know what about Estate 88?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I would love to. So essentially, Estate 88, we are a coffee company. We have multiple divisions across different facets of the business, including wholesale. So we import and distribute coffee, whether it's green bean or roasted. We also power a barista training company and also own a cafe.
I love the fact that you're just more than just a cafe. Like you got all these different aspects of coffee. Like you have the training that really intrigued me. You're training for like other people to get in this coffee lifestyle that I never knew existed until like this scene happened.
Yeah, so, correct. And so that's something we're trying to push as well. So just educate the young people of Western Sydney or even people in the Sydney market that there is actually more to coffee than just drinking it.
Yeah, it's not just the instant stuff, right?
It's not just the instant stuff. It's there's a whole process from farm to cup.
Yeah, I'm interested to know because I drink it, but I don't know what's going on in it. I know it gives me a little push and like it lasts for like a couple hours, but then I get another one. I'm just like, but I want to get to your story of like, how did you get that love for coffee? Like what sparked that drive to be like, you know what? I love coffee.
Let's do something about it. No, very good question. Look, one day Alan and I we were cruising down Sydney.
Alan's your partner, your business partner.
Alan is our co-founder.
Shout out.
So essentially, look, we were cruising down Sydney one day,
as you do, yeah.
As we do, and we're just thinking, we're very very different to a couple of our friends. We're very driven, we're very ambitious, and we need to do something. We needed to build something that's gonna leave something behind. So, what are we going to do? And, essentially one day we're just like, we're sitting down in a coffee shop and we're just, having a couple of sips and we're like, this is absolutely unbelible.
That's the first time you're trying coffee?
No, it's not.
But thinking about it, you're thinking
about, what are we going to do? So, based off that day, Estate 88 was born.
Nice.
So we basically made it a mission to source some of the most exclusive coffee in the world. So we knew a couple of people that had farms across Southeast Asia. So we sort of tapped into that network and got some samples delivered, spent months on the ground developing some flavors from different origins across the world. So, Ethiopia, Colombia, Yunnan and sort of Myanmar, Laos, different other origins across the world. So we've sort of made this type of blend, which we call the signature blend, which is available at Space.
Man,
is that like a KFC, the secret herbs and spices, but you got all these different blends of coffee?
Very, yes.
Is it a secret or can you give
it's a bit of a secret. However, I can educate you a little bit on the secret recipe behind the scenes.
Take it offline. We'll take it offline.
Next minute, Estate 89.
Cheatcoders coffee.
77.
Take his recipe.
I love the fact that you have different coffee in different area codes. You're like the ludicrous of coffee. It's like you get it from different countries. These come in. I love it, bro.
No, but funnily enough, because most of our origins are across Southeast Asia, so that's why we actually chose the number 88.
That makes sense. That's dope.
Because it's good luck, right?
Angel number 88. It essentially means prosperity, encouraging wealth, spirituality.
Yeah, shout outs to people who were born in 1988, bro. They're the best people.
Shout out to them as well.
That seems good.
But where did the estate part of it come from?
So our growing area, it's about 89,000 hectares. So you can imagine how much of a large estate it is.
Okay.
Estate 88, bit catchy. So that's where it sort of come from.
It's a good name.
Yeah.
Did you get we were talking off mic, mistaken for a real estate company?
Yeah. So essentially, before you typed in Estate 88 into Google, you used to get a real estate that did pop up. But now if you type in Estate 88, we're number one.
Yeah,
number one.
Number one.
Get that. The moral of the story is get your SEO in order.
Yes, correct. Get your optimization.
I love the fact that you stuck with it because people will be asking real estate? Is it a real estate company? Nah, we're gonna make it so good that they're going to think of Estate 88 as a coffee company
Yes.
rather than real estate. So I
Correct.
love that you just stuck to your guns. It's like, I love the 88 and I love the estate aspect. Let's just stick with it, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Love that.
Thank you.
So we met you and Alan at the Stonecutter's space.
Yes.
And I think when we were hiring out their venue, you guys hadn't set up yet. Now the place looks amazing because you guys have decked it out. Like it looks like a place where you would love to just go sit and work and have a cup of coffee.
And that's the type of vibe we're trying to go for down there at Space. Like essentially it's just a platform for people come down, have a bit of a laugh, enjoy yourself, but also enjoy a specialty coffee, because in Western Sydney we're the first coffee lounge or specialty coffee lounge that actually exists. And we're really proud to push it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Nats and I were there for like 5 hours.
We got a lot of work
that.
done.
We got
for
some
the
work
first
done,
time in
you
a
know?
while.
Oh,
It was
good.
I wasn't expecting it. Someone I got there was like, "Hey, when did this open up?" And it was really cool. I mean, like we said, we tried the green matcha smoothie.
And I'm really glad that you guys are actually using it in the way it's meant to be used.
Legit.
For meetings.
Like Nats was
things
like, "Are we
that.
supposed to stay? Are we allowed to stay for this long?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, it's the working space."
Just drop my name at the door. It's all right.
Yeah, I love that you guys are building not only a place to have coffee or a place to eat and have a sneaky bevy, but it's a place where creatives can go, or entrepreneurs can go and have meetings and work from, like have a workspace there. I think it's such a vibe there. Like I was hanging out with
very
some friends.
different.
Yeah.
It is very different, and that's the whole vision for the space as well. We want people to come down there, entrepreneurs, creatives. Doesn't matter who you are. Uni student. If you want to come down there, work, study, even interact with some entrepreneurs like myself, Alan, Kevin. We're always happy to have a chat.
Yeah.
Always happy to help people, encourage people, and that's
you
what
guys,
we're all
every time I have a
about.
conversation with you guys, I get inspired, man.
Yeah,
Thank you.
especially
Alan,
especially Alan, man. Alan, like he's so passionate about what he's doing that I'm
He's very ambitious. He's very driven.
100%.
Don has a mad crush on him.
I've been talking about him the whole night.
It's the beard. It's the beard that he.
He's got some big blue eyes as well.
He can't really resist. It's like coffee. You're used to seeing like brown in coffee, then you see blue eyes. It's like it's perfect, man. It's like the sun and the ocean. You know what I mean?
And Alan's the essentially engine room behind our business as well. So
Nice.
he's got we've basically built a platform for all of these divisions, and we've built a platform for this now where we're trying to drive all the business units, and Alan's spending a lot of his time doing all of that as
Dude's
well.
a young gun as well.
He's 23 years old, and
Ambitious.
he's very ambitious. He's very driven, and he wants to be successful, and essentially he wants people that interact with him to feel inspired.
That's
Love
dope.
that.
Yeah, both of you guys are really, really ambitious and passionate. What like professional background do you come from? Like it's not coffee. Obviously, you're an entrepreneur and a businessman, but were you always entrepreneurial when you're growing up?
I always had that type of vibe. I've always been sort of, wanting to do more.
Yeah.
So my background, essentially, I come from a recruitment agency. So I've always wanted to help people get jobs and things like that. But my background is more in at that executive level. So I used to help, finance directors, chief financial officers, help them find work at some sort of ASX listed, top businesses in Australia. So that's what my background is. And it's always sort of been that corporate type of environment as well.
Yeah, and it's completely different to what you're doing at Estate 88.
Very
What
different.
caused that shift? Like from that corporate setting into Estate 88.
Well, essentially, it's that drive to wanting to be your own boss and to drive what you actually believe in. Because when you work for someone, it's like, okay, you can give you 100%, but if you're doing it for yourself, you've actually got that extra kick of energy, and you really
satisfying, right?
and you feel really passionate, and you've got this this fuel that just empowers you to wanting to do your marketing, your sales, run your day-to-day operations.
you, man.
It's just diversification. It's
That's
just
for sure.
it gets it gets exciting.
Yeah, hell
as
yeah.
opposed to just sitting in office all day and just smashing out your work.
Yeah, 100%. Man, I think like it's great that people work for other people, work for companies. That's we're not shitting on the people that want to work for a
absolutely not.
company, but at the same time, like being an entrepreneur and working for yourself, that's a massive undertaking, right? Like you have to, like you said, you take on the sales, the marketing, every single facet of it. Do you find that difficult, or do you find that challenging? And if so, how do you deal with those, like handling every aspect of the business?
I think it just comes down to time management. You know, at the start when I was sort of transitioning, it got very stressful in terms of the long hours, you know, working one sort of shift for one place, and then you come back and you work on your own business.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people say, you know, you can do your sort of 9 to 5 job, but really what are you doing from 6 to 12? You know, so from, you know, those 6 to 12 hours, if you're working towards a dream, you're working towards a goal, and it's actually for a purpose, you've got that fuel to fire you, and, you know, you've got that sort of time behind you as well. So if you don't make time for it,
yeah, man,
it's not going to happen.
It's 12 to 12, bro.
Exactly.
That's what it is, man.
It's 25/8.
25. I love that. Just keep pushing in the extra day.
So are you still in recruitment now? Are you?
I am, yes. Yeah. I'm still working full time.
Hardcore.
It is hardcore. So, yeah, still trying to smash it out.
You were really serious about 25/8.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so I think, you know, the transition and things like that, the time management point of view and the stress has just gotten a little less now because I'm a lot more used to it. But, you know, Estate 88, we've got a team of about 8 now as well. So
nice.
Shout out to the whole team, man.
Thank you. Yeah, we've got a great team. We've got a great, you know, couple of people that are on board that share the same vision, share the same journey, and they're happy to be a part of it as well. So, you know, going from, you know, working every day to, you know, working every night now as well. It's just, it's something you got to aspire towards and just, you know, keep working on daily.
Yeah,
yeah. It's a certain strength that you got to have, man. Like,
it's all about that resilience, isn't
man.
it? Yeah.
I love it, man. Like,
I think you end up being addicted to the when you're so engulfed in something as well. That's all you think about, and it's almost like it's not even work. It's not even work, right? Yeah. And then when you're at your actual real real job, I always put
in quotation marks,
and you're just there, but you're just thinking of all your other stuff. You're like, yeah, whatever.
You got so much other stuff going on. But, you know, look, don't get me wrong. When I'm at my job, I'm, you know, solely there, 100%.
That's good.
But you know, when I'm, you know, working on our business, I'm solely there as well.
Yeah.
So it's just, you know, laser like focus no matter where we are.
Yeah, it really is about that. Like, okay, I'm on when I'm here at my corporate job, I'm on. When I'm working on my you know, my passion project, my own business, I'm on, and you need to be on all the time.
Absolutely.
Man, hardcore.
But, you know, I want to get to this coffee business, right?
Because he wants to learn about
coffee.
I love that.
I've been drinking this like
all
I know, it just gives me energy. That's it. And like you said, you get it from different aspects of the world.
Yes.
Why is that? And what's the difference between of the different origins and different like countries you get it from?
Yeah, absolutely. Very good question. So different origins across the world would sort of determined the quality of the coffee. So a lot of people have heard of, you know, your Ethiopian types of coffee. That's probably more for your single origin, which is your black coffee. Okay, so if you're getting a single origin at, you know, any cafe, it'll definitely be black because you can actually taste all the sort of flavor notes in that as well. You know, whether it might be like a fruit, might be like a malted chocolate. You always get that sort of flavor note. So, you know, differences between the single origin and a blend. A blend would be multiple origins mixed into one. So,
cool.
Yeah, so essentially our signature blend, we like to call it. It's a mix between sort of your Ethiopians, Yunnan, and also Myanmar.
Don't give away the secret, man.
It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. We love to educate the people, so it's all good. So that's more for your, you know, your milky beverages, like, you know, like your cappuccinos, your lattes.
Okay. Yeah, wow.
That type of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so like they give different aspects and different tastes, and it's
different tastes, different flavor notes, different aromas. Yeah, so it's.
What's your favorite one?
I love our blend. I'm very biased, but you know, I love our blend. I love a bit of vanilla in my latte as well. Yeah, it gives a little bit of a dash of sweetness. But you know, with our coffee as well, you know, if I was to describe our flavor notes, we've got that hazelnut. You know, it's buttery, it's smooth. It's just something that just, you know,
nice.
It's amazing.
Oh man. Should we open on Sundays, bro? I'll be right there now, bro.
We can open for you guys. Don't tell anybody.
I was there today because I drove down before this podcast. I drove down. I was looking for a place to work. And I drove there and I realized it was closed. I'm like, no, I need to find it. I just want some good coffee and a place to sit down and do some work. That's what I wanted to do.
I'm glad you guys really enjoy the spot, and I'd encourage anyone that's out there as well just to come down and check it out.
Yeah, man, it's vibes all around, and plus you get to meet other people that are in the creative field. And then you just bump into people. You might bump into one of us. You know?
We'll always be down there, at least one of us, I think. So
yeah, man.
Was that always your aim before you decided to open the coffee? Was it always I want to serve? This is my market, like creatives, because like obviously when I see like these types of coffees, like private or owned businesses. They tend to be more like against the big corporation, which is like the Starbucks, Gloria Jeans and all that. Is that the sort of space that you're looking to aim to go towards? Like if there's more hubs, like if they open up in other, are you like the first one there? Was like, that your Estate 88? There's us.
Yeah, was that your vision from the get-go? Like you wanted to target creatives?
We didn't want to target creatives specifically. What we wanted to do is essentially just educate the people in Sydney about coffee.
Nice.
So it doesn't matter who it was, whether it's a creative, whether it's a CEO, whether it's a janitor. It doesn't matter who you are. We want people to know your different types of coffees, whether it be that black or be that milk coffee.
Yeah.
That's a good angle, because like even what Raf said, doesn't know what's going on in this coffee and how long has it been drinking. It could be anything. It could be anything, man. It's like, there's coffee.
And we could be like Macca's with the pig facts.
And just to touch on your question as well, with the big corporates and things like that, we're not that type of coffee company. We're a boutique roaster. We focus on quality.
Boutique, that's it. Yeah, that was the word I was trying to get. Boutique.
Boutique.
I love that. So like, is there any other countries that you want to try and delve into in terms? Because like I can imagine each country has a different type of coffee, kind of like music. Each country has a sound, and like each country has a different type of coffee. Like, is there a country that you want to dwell into?
Well, stay tuned. We might have some interesting coffees coming up in our new product launch. So we wanted to sort of test out, your Costa Ricans, Colombian type of coffee.
Yes.
So stay tuned as soon
Narcos coffee, yeah. I love
it. So it should be. Should be something to look out for.
Are you guys gonna do some coffee tastings, like some cupping, like cupping and stuff like that?
I'm very surprised that you know what cupping is.
What's that? What's cupping?
Basically, coffee tasting.
Oh, yes, it's actually a process. So, a bit of an example or a process that we went through. So, we went through a whole cupping process when we were selecting our origins that we wanted to go for. So, there was 11 different types of coffees in one room, and we were sitting here with our roasters that have 30 years experience in tasting coffee. So we're like, okay, we'll put some mysterious coffees on the table and everybody just tries it and we'll just pick the best ones. So everybody's going around, sipping it, everything like that. And everyone's like, okay, all right. In terms of which coffees do you like best? Everybody say a number. All of us, or 4 of us, we chose 4 and 5, which is the coffee that Alan and I imported.
Nice.
Compared to all across the world, you got your every single origin across the world. So, Kenya, Ethiopia, we sort of scored on top of that in terms of personal preference.
Nice. That seems good.
In terms of like origins and different cafes using different origins, is there like a certain origin that we'll say the big companies use, like the Starbucks and the Gloria Jeans? It's kind of like how like in fish and chips, all the basic fish is the fish in the fish and chips is like shark meat or bass or something like that.
Bassa.
Is there something like in terms of in origins?
Yeah, there's very popular at the minute is your Ethiopian coffee, Kenyan, and also Brazilian. So if you go to a lot of different coffee shops, you'll probably notice that's what they sell for their their single origins as well.
Is that just for Australia specifically, or like is it worldwide kind of thing?
Worldwide. Yeah. There's so Brazilian, Ethiopia, and Kenya. They probably export to most of the world.
Biggest.
Yeah. Whereas with our origins, we only export to about 0.7% of the world, which is very, very small.
This is gonna sound like a real noob question, but is there a reason? Like, obviously, most coffees are imported to Australia, right? There's no coffee
in Australia.
Is it?
There is coffee grown in Australia, more across the farms in Adelaide. Okay. It is very good. Okay. It is very good, but obviously, if you're competing against a global scale, it's
better.
I think they're more established in the other countries, right?
Yeah, especially with the other countries as well. There's been a lot of investors that are wanting to grow the farms and things like that. So they poured millions of dollars into these specific farms across the world, which has actually allowed the farms to grow.
I see.
So I don't know if you guys know this, but a coffee bean actually comes from a cherry. So
no idea.
yeah, so if
From a cherry.
from a cherry,
It's like cherry rice.
This is interesting.
Yes.
It's interesting as fuck, man. Sorry.
Well, so how does it come from a? Sorry, it starts off as a cherry.
starts
It's
off
a
as a
fruit,
cherry
yeah.
on a leaf. Okay,
Okay.
so the whole process would be, you pick it, you open it up, and then you wash it. Okay, and then you sort it, you dry it, and then you grade it.
Oh, what's grade? Like grinding it?
Grade as in defining the quality of the bean. So the
And
smaller the bean, the less high quality it is. The
So-
bigger the bean, the higher quality.
So is it really a bean or is it a seed, like a pit?
Yeah,
from
is
a
it this,
cherry?
the little seed? Or
It'd be a bean.
Yeah.
It'd be a bean. Yeah, you'd be very surprised in terms of what it looks like. So it actually comes out green. So that's actually the raw material that we import, and then we have a contract roaster here. So if you open up a cherry, you'd see that green bean.
Okay, so it's like when you find, like in a grocery, you find a good apple.
Mm-hmm.
So what's a good bean for coffee? Like, what does it look like?
Yeah, what's a
Small,
well-graded bean?
well-graded
so-
bean, y'all. Okay, sorry.
Bean life, baby.
Bean life. About that bean life, yo.
Beanie Siegel.
So if you look at it, essentially it'd have the nice texture to it. It wouldn't have much moisture, and it's always got a crack down the middle. So if it's got that crack down the middle, and it's sort of very sizable, that's how you know it's going to be, very,
good
very
bean.
high quality.
Yeah, wow.
Nice. Size does matter.
In beans, it does. Yep. In beans.
That's
Where,
cool.
where have you guys been all my life?
I love this guy.
It's
Nice.
usually Rap's job, but
Yeah. I want to make a cafe called Has-Beens. Has-Beens.
Has-beens. Wow.
I got a quick question. You can debunk this myth. I've heard of it. It could be complete false, but you're a coffee connoisseur.
Hey.
Coffee aficionado.
Hey.
Them words. I've heard about this bean. It's not from a cherry, but it comes from, I don't know what kind of animal, but it's the poop.
They
poo.
it's they do that in Thailand. I can't
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
the
yeah.
animal. They make the animal
Is
eat.
it a monkey or a goat?
or
Something like that.
It's like a monkey.
poo.
No, they make the animal eat the coffee beans,
Yeah,
and then
and then they poo it
poops it out.
Yeah.
I've actually read an article about that, but I wouldn't know too much about it.
It's
That's for you, man. That's for you.
Okay, do some
Next
light
episode,
reading.
okay? Next episode.
Yeah.
Let us know.
so I
Stay
think,
tuned.
because I think it's I can't remember.
So it's
can't-
legit, yeah? I'm not like
It's-
making shit up.
They
I
feed
like
the
what you did with it.
they feed the fruit to the animal, and then the poop that comes out, they will like clean it or wash it, and then they'll roast it as coffee, and it's called.
but like
And
it's
they
still
send it
shit.
to America
It's
because
called
they have the
shit
shit
coffee.
coffee.
Yeah, there you go.
I've never tried it. I've seen it in Thailand, but
I wonder what's the appeal in that.
it seems a little like I don't know.
hygienic.
Okay. All right. Back to Terry. Unbiased. What is the best coffee that you ever had in your life?
Yeah, man.
Ooh,
Don't say Estate 88. This is not Big Mark. If it
Yeah,
is,
if
if
it
it's
was an
true though,
Estate 88.
let us know.
No, we know it is Estate 88. What's the
I
I
second
love our
best?
coffee. I'm
What's
sure
the
you
second
guys
best?
too.
But the best,
Yeah.
something that was like, oh man, this.
You got your big players out there that have been in the industry for a very, very long time. So, you got your Campos, your Vittoria. They always produce you very, very good coffee.
Campos is good, yeah.
I noticed that your boutique roasters, there's a lot of, coffee companies out there in the market these days. It's very cutthroat. Your boutique roasters are the way to go because essentially what they do is they don't manufacture in bulk. Okay, so it doesn't degrade the quality. So if you're a boutique roaster, you're focusing on quality and you're only roasting, say, a certain amount of tons at a time.
Not sitting there. Yeah.
It's not losing any flavor. It's not losing any moisture. It's not losing any texture. The quality is on point.
That's so good, man.
So when you say roasters, they put it in a machine that roasts it.
Yes. So, sort of just touching on those green beans. So as soon as you import those green beans that we get over here, so roasters, essentially what they do is they have machines that you put the green beans in and they roast it to a certain temperature
Yeah.
for a certain period of time. And that's what sort of defines that roasted coffee. Now, there are a lot of different types of roast that you can do. Our blend is more of a lighter blend, so it's not as harsh. It's best to be enjoyed, with your friends, and you can just sip on it and really, really, enjoy the flavor notes. Whereas, back in the day, it was more your darker coffees, your Italian roast and things like that, where your old school people love to drink.
There's a little more bitterness in the
A
coffee.
lot more bitterness.
Yeah.
It's not as smooth. It's a lot more darker and it's a lot more stronger. You know, whereas the coffee culture in Melbourne and Sydney and Australia as a whole at the moment, everybody's really picky about what type of coffee they drink.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody's about all that taste and, you know, did the barista do a good job? You know, did the extraction process? Yes. So everybody's sort of, everybody's a critic when it comes to coffee.
Especially in Australia, man. Like you go to other countries, if you go to America, and try the coffee there, it's not great.
Yeah, that's where all the poop coffee goes.
All the monkeys.
So sorry, it's all the people in the US, but like, yeah, it's true. Like a lot of people here in Sydney, a lot of people in Melbourne will have an opinion about coffee.
Correct, and you know, just to give you a level of insight in terms of some data or some analytics that we've done a lot of research on.
I like that.
So 88% of Australians actually drink coffee.
88%.
88 estate. What?
So and also sort of just touching on that. So 1 in 4 Australians need a coffee to survive the day.
Wow,
that's why
I thought it'd be higher than that, man.
Yeah,
That's
very popular. You know, everybody loves a cup of coffee and a good cup of coffee.
Yeah, I used to always have Starbucks coffee before starting work. This was years ago. I would go to the Starbucks in Wynyard. I'd pick up a cup of like a what is it? Venti macchiato, like venti
macchiato,
caramel macchiato, something like that. And I would walk into work with this giant ass cup of coffee in quotation marks. And I worked with Italians, and they're like, "What are you drinking?" And kind of like laugh behind my back. Yeah. And I'd be like, "It's a caramel macchiato," and they're like, "No, no. That's not a macchiato. We'll take you. We'll show you a macchiato.
We'll show you the real macchiato."
Yeah.
That's why, you know, Starbucks is a monopoly in the market. They've got a really, really good brand. Everybody knows Starbucks. Everybody knows the logo, and you know, it's just a place where, you know, you can go for meetings and you can go there and hang out.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I think the appeal with Starbucks
is because
the coffee. It's subpar. It's not like amazing, but it's decent.
Yeah.
Like I won't knock Starbucks. I really
How good are their frappuccinos though?
Pretty good, man. but like you go any Starbucks, like you can go to New York, especially when I did a lot of travel. When I ever felt like, oh man, I'm just over it, I'd go to a Starbucks just to rest, and they're all uniform. They give off that same vibe. So when you're talking about that,
very consistent.
The consistency, the monopoly is there. It's like, if I'm feeling a bit like, oh, I'm so far away.
Yeah.
I was reading some reports on some of their data and some of the money that they've spent on their marketing. It's in, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Work span.
You know,
how much do they get in return? Like, what,
I think
their investment? It's like,
couldn't tell you. I'm guessing it'd be in the billions.
And I think their business model now is less about the priority is more about the space.
Yeah.
You know, and allowing people to go to Starbucks and have a place to sit. And
that's
kind of
like the McDonald's plan, right? Because like every McDonald's, you have that family feel. So with Starbucks, it's sort of, you kind of expect what you're gonna get.
Yeah,
like,
and
you know
even if you're lost
get.
in the city or something like that, and you want to meet
remote.
a friend, you know,
Yeah,
it's such a
Starbucks.
popular place. You can just say, okay, meet me at Starbucks. Everybody knows where that is on the corner.
well, they can go to Estate 88 in Glendenning.
Exactly, 5/171 Power Street.
But yeah, I think that's why, like, so the Italians that I worked with in Wynyard, they showed me what a macchiato was, right? Like a true macchiato.
That's how you say it as well, macchiato.
Like
Very different in taste, hey?
Yeah,
He drank it and he gets an accent. With
macchiato.
Fresh off the boat.
And like that's exactly why. That's exactly why it's important that you guys, like Estate 88, what you guys are doing to educate people in coffee, because
love it.
You know, it's so important.
Yeah, and it's very fun as well. We love, you know, some of the videos that we're, you know, showing on our Instagram, things like that. We're doing a lot of, you know, tutorials and, you know, how-tos on, you know, what else you can do, because, you know, it's not just, you know, pouring a barista-made coffee. You know, there's a lot more to it.
There's a lot of layers into it.
Yeah. So one thing that's been really popular for us, or, you know, within the last year, is cold brew.
Oh yeah,
I was just about to ask you about cold brew.
Yeah,
this guy's the king of cold brew. I know, I just heard it from him one time, and then now he's the king of cold brew. Actually, latte art.
Yes,
that's an interesting thing. Is there like competitions for it, or it's like,
you would be very surprised. There is world competitions for this. Yeah,
wow.
there's you know, competitions called Power Brew. You know, it's actually a big thing.
I can barely make a fern on the coffee. I can barely do like.
At least you can make something. I want just be. I want just like.
Yeah,
I can make a love heart, so I'm getting there.
Nice.
I'm getting there.
Can't wait for your Valentine's special.
Oh yeah, well it's already passed, so we sort of did a little bit of a special. Yeah, that's right. But yeah, latte art, it's something really cool that, you know, we're trying to push as well. So you know, a lot of baristas have a niche skill set. So what they're trying to do is, you know, push, you know, a bit of themselves into their coffee.
Hell yeah.
So
I love that.
I've seen some baristas actually make like, you know, monkeys, unicorns.
Shit.
I've seen the Sydney Opera House. I've just seen some really unbelievable stuff.
Yeah, the guy that you guys had at that event for the 2-year Cheatcoders anniversary.
He was doing like American,
yeah, man.
Yeah, like it was just crazy.
American what?
American flag.
Yeah, well, I was
Yeah,
like, American
it was like
flag.
one of those American people with the masks.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
No way.
American Indians.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was thinking like the flag. I was like, out of 10. That's sick. But that's still really impressive too.
Yeah,
That's
so
crazy.
he was doing a lot of things like that. So he does a lot of, you know, flowers as well. You know, roses, tulips, rosettas.
Really intricate like stuff.
Detailed,
really
yeah.
intricate art.
Man, it's a different art form. Do you have any coffee tricks that you have? Is there
don't.
any other type of tricks that we don't know about besides the latte art? Is there something else?
Apart from, you know, your cold brews and have you guys heard of Chemex before?
Yep.
Okay.
No.
So
Of course, this guy did. I'm like, Chemex sounds like a chemist to me.
yeah, so essentially it's like a filtered tea, right? But it's coffee. So you put you know, grounded coffee in a filter and you pour it over with hot water, doing a sort of certain process.
Yeah.
And it filters out and it just becomes more of like a filtered coffee, like a cold brew, but hot.
My yeah.
Interesting.
One of my housemates was a barista. He would wake up like extra early, and he would do his Chemex thing. And it's really strange because you have to like weigh the amount of coffee being.
You have to
like,
weigh it. You have to
weigh it,
time the
it,
water
and
pouring.
then you have to kind of move it in a certain direction. You have to be like elliptical but not circular.
Man,
it's
there's
just this.
science to this.
It's yeah.
We've got a tutorial on our Instagram as well, so check it out if you're
Hey, what's
interested.
your Instagram?
Yeah.
What's your Instagram?
Estate88.coffee.
Coffee. All right, sweet. So in terms of like, is there anything that you're gonna be doing in the works in the future so far for Estate 88?
Yeah.
Like in terms of the space or in terms of like classes or
Mm-hmm.
like what's in the future?
Obviously, there's cupping coming up.
Yes,
I'm really excited
yes,
about
coming up. Obviously, apart from hosting events at Space, we also do a lot of cool things. So Alan and I, we actually built a coffee cart. So essentially, we can cater for birthdays, corporate partnerships, retail
Nice.
partners, and things like that.
Mobile,
So
go mobile. Just
yeah, so about 2 weeks prior to us launching the company, we actually did a collaboration with Sennheiser.
Yeah.
Hey.
So it's a multinational audio giant. They have a flagship store in Pitt Street in Sydney. And we actually catered for a product launch of their new Momentum headphones.
Dude, that's
Brilliant.
so cool, man.
That's the perfect
That's
start
dope.
to make some noise.
Yeah, so you know, it was a really, really exciting day. It was a lot of people come down just to show some love and support.
Yeah, I
and
love that.
you know,
That's
it was prior to us launching as well. So we're very lucky, and it was just something that, you know, just builds our brand because
Hell
we
yeah.
noticed that, you know, a marketing tool and a good approach for building your business at the moment is your branding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So what's your brand? Like in probably like a couple of sentences, what's the Estate 88 brand in a nutshell?
How would you describe that?
In a cherry.
Oh, very good point.
Is there such thing as a virgin coffee? Because like it's popping cherries literally.
Oh my goodness.
There should be such thing, right?
You're funny.
Hey,
Right? Oh, I love that.
Thanks, Dad.
So with our brand, we sort of we're trying to portray more of that sort of simplistic, elegant type of feel, but more of that sort of you know, storytelling, educational type of brand as well. And you know, we want people to love it as much as we love it as well. So you know, as long as we can portray that sort of, you know, loving feel about it, you know, we're happy.
Yeah.
Love that.
Man, it sounds like you've got all of these good things going on. But a lot of the things that people don't necessarily talk about is like the difficulty to business and the challenges that come up when you're trying to start something for yourself. What are some of the challenges that have come up from trying to build, you know, this business from the ground up?
Yeah, it's been very challenging, obviously, building it from the ground up.
Yeah.
You know, we've had to do everything from build the brand to do the marketing, to do the sales, to managing the day-to-day operations and, you know, managing the staff. So it's you know, very hard and stressful.
Yeah.
So that was definitely an obstacle, sort of just doing that transition to becoming a business owner.
Yeah.
You know, and sort of shifting your mindset and just not being afraid. You know, I think a lot of people are very fearful in terms of, you know, what if it doesn't work? What if it, you know, it doesn't go the way to planned? But I think, you know, if you just, you know, stay persistent, you know, you've got a plan on how to get there. You know, you can overcome any obstacle.
Nice.
So some of the obstacles we've you know crossed over the time that we've had is, you know, a lot of that older people or the older generation, they look down at, you know, me and Alan because we're
younger.
You know, we're younger and we've got that sort of stigma about us that, you know, okay, you know, let's, you know, why would we want to partner with these guys? You know, do they know what they're doing?
Yeah,
That's fair.
However, when they start talking to us, we start building that relationship. They actually understand that we're very well versed in coffee and business, and that's what, you know, sort of gets that buy-in for them. So I think it's that, you know, that trust piece as well. But you know, it's like all business. When you build relationships, it's, you know, it comes a time and everybody's here to help each other.
Yeah,
and you got to have the right team around you as well. I think.
Don't worry about the haters, bro.
Don't worry about the haters.
Haters are gonna hate. The state's gonna 88.
Bars. Just firing off them dad jokes.
It's all you, man. And my coffee, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
But in terms of like, where can they find you? Do you have a website or anything?
Yeah, hit us up on the website, hit us up on Instagram, come down to Space, you know, ask one of our baristas where to find us. We'll always be around, you know.
The cool thing about you guys is your trading hours. So can you tell everyone your trading hours of Estate 88?
Yeah, so we open very early to cater for all the tradies that come past or even the gym next door. So start at 6.
Oh, it's good.
Yep, and also we're open till late. So 10 p.m.
You know what? That's something that's missing. Sometimes, like, especially a lot of creatives like to work at night. Like, they work better at night, and then there's nothing open. Like,
there's nothing open. Where are you going to go? Starbucks?
Or they do.
We were at on our interview in Koori Radio. We were at Redfern, and we couldn't find a cafe that was open.
We wanted coffee at like
8
p.m.
Like, over there.
That's right, because when it's late, you're hanging out with your friends. You're like, all right, where am I going to go? So that's something we wanted to try and push as well. We just wanted to, you know, get a lot of people to come down and just hang out, you know, because we do some really cool frappuccinos at the moment. You know, we've got your matcha green tea, your taro,
my favorite right
frappuccinos as well. So it's just a place where, you know, you can come hang out at the coffee lounge at night, and with your mates.
Cool. Are you gonna try and dwell into food, like hot food or anything? Or
look, I don't think so at the moment. Maybe in our next shop, we'll dabble a little bit into it.
Yeah.
But we do have sort of sweets and pastries. You know, we've got some Nutella sweets that are flying at the door at the moment.
I love Nutella. Man, I'm just getting so hungry after this episode. Hungry and thirsty. Oh man,
nice man. Yeah, I think like I'm really excited that you guys are doing this. Not only because I'm a coffee fan. I'm a fan of coffee. No, I don't know. I wouldn't call myself a connoisseur, but I'm a fan. I'm
educated. He's got his diploma.
I'm just a fan.
That'd be cool. Do you guys have an Estate 88 certification?
Yes. Once you do our barista course, you actually get certified.
That's cool.
Yes. Oh shit.
School of Coffee.
How long does a barista course go for?
It could be anywhere from 2 to 4 hours, depending upon what type of package you want to do.
Yeah.
So we offer different courses.
When can I sign up?
Whenever you like. Whenever you like. Yeah.
Cheatcoders Cafe, CC. Coming soon.
Man, I'm just gonna be making coffee for myself. I don't care.
Okay, cool. I was trying to get the business happening, but it's okay.
That's cool.
But okay, cool. So
what was the website? You mentioned they have a website. Is it estate88?
Yeah, estate88.com.au.
Yeah.
So we've got everything on there. So if you want to learn a little bit about us or a bit about our barista course or anything like that, jump on the website. We've got all the information there.
Hell yeah.
Sweet. So Estate 88, 88 as in numbers, not
number 88.
Letters.
88. Yeah.
And Instagram,
estate88.coffee.
All right. Any other social media?
Yeah, we got Facebook. You can like us on Facebook as well. It's just Estate88.
Sweet. It's all
Brilliant, man.
it's all branded, all sequenced.
Yeah, that's right.
Consistency. I love that. Especially with coffee, consistency is good, right?
Yes, correct. Quality is key.
Sweet. So people it seems that the scene of coffee is growing by the minute. So people who are ambitious, I know a couple people who are ambitious to start their own cafe or even a coffee company. What advice would you give them?